Okay, please confirm once you see the screen visible. I mean, once the screen is visible. So, hope you're able to see the screen. Yes, no? Okay, okay, Krishna Prasad, thank you for confirming. Okay, let us do a small recap. Yesterday, we were discussing about the instance context in Java. Okay? Instance context in Java. So, it is categorized into three types. We have instance variables, we have instance methods, and we also have instance blocks. Okay, we got to know. So instance variables, they are usually get recognized and executed before executing the respective class constructor. Okay, and instance variables are the variables that has if you don't specify the type as static, right, and if variables are declared within the class outside the method, okay, they we usually call them as what? The instance variables. Okay, from the memory's perspective, they usually get stored in the heap area. Okay, and this is the typical example for the instance variables. Okay, and if you see this variable, it doesn't have the static keyword. At the same time, this variable is placed inside the class but outside the method. So this is called as what? The instance variables. You can also call it as the class level variables. You can call these variables either by using the instance keyword or by using what the you can call it as class level variables. Okay, both are valid, or you can also call it as the non-static variables. Okay, and this is the example. We have seen some example, and this is the example of instance method. And after instance methods, we have also seen about instance blocks. So these are some examples which we have solved yesterday. So if you want to call instance methods, definitely you need to invoke the method by using the object reference. You can call it explicitly. So it is not like it is not exactly similar to the instance variables, because instance variables are recognized and executed before executing the constructor, but methods you have to call it by yourself. It cannot be called automatically. You have to call it by yourself. Explicit call is required. Okay, after this, what is it? What is the next topic? Instance blocks. Instance block is just similar to the instance variables. Even they are also gets recognized and executed before executing the constructor. So when you place any set of instructions inside a block, we call it as what? The instance block. So they are recognized and executed before the constructors of the same class. It is just like constructors. It can store static variables as well as non-static variables. So this is an example. Okay, today the discussion is going to be on top of I am going to give you the complete picture about this keyword. So we have been seeing this keyword for a long time. So we will do a complete postmortem on top of this keyword today. Okay, this is going to be very interesting, and you can analyze a lot of, you can design a lot of programs on top of this keyword. So kindly pay some attention. It's going to be very interesting. Trust me, it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so the key point here is, so when I say this keyword, this is just a keyword. So the theory can be like this. This is a Java keyword. It usually represents the current class object. Okay, and again there is a follow-up question: what is the current class object? I am going to justify this particular theory. You will get to know after, you will get to know about this after some time. Next line. Please be informed that in Java, this keyword keywords can be use in the following entities. What are they? There are four entities where these keywords can be used. The first one is in order to refer to the current class variables. To refer current class variables, you can use this keyword. And also second point, to refer current class methods, you can use this keywords. Third point, to refer current class constructors. What is it? Current class constructors. Okay, methods, variables, methods, constructors. Okay, and the last point is to refer current class objects. To refer current class objects. Okay, these are the areas where we are going to use this keyword to give reference to the current class variables, methods, constructors, and objects. Okay, we will look into the examples for the better understanding. Okay, firstly, let us understand what does it mean to be to refer current class variables. What does it mean to be to refer current class variables? Let us understand this. Okay, so we know what is a variable. So how can we define a variable? Especially to define a variable, we usually use what? Class. So this is a typical example to define a variable. So let us take a class A. Inside the class A, okay, so let us take a class A. Inside the class A, we already know that a class can have variables as well as methods. Okay, for example, when I define a variable like this, integer a equal to 100, it is a class level variable. At the same time, it is also called as what? Instance variables. It is a class level variables. At the same time, it is also called as the instance variables, right? And let me take a constructor here. Okay. So this is a class constructor. Inside this constructor, I am taking a variable integer a equal to 200 this time. Okay. Now within class A, inside class A, I have a variable and I have a constructor, but this constructor is having a variable. Okay, a variable is placed in a constructor which is part of the class A itself, and there is an independent variable within the class A outside the constructor. Okay, this is called as what? Instance variable, and this is called as what? The local variable with respect to the constructor. Hope you're able to getting this, right? The moment I say instance variables, the variable has to be completely independent of any blocks or any entities except for the classes. This is completely independent. It is placed within the class, that is okay, but it is not part of any method, it is not part of any constructor, it is not part of any block. That's why it is called as what? Instance variables. But when you place any variable inside any entity, for example, in this case, it is a constructor is holding a variable. Okay. Constructor as a variable, we have placed a variable inside the constructor, so this is localized. This is called as what? Local variable. Okay, making sense? Having said this, for example, let us take a small example. Let me write a small program for the better clarity. Okay, package name is Ganesh, and I have a class A. Inside the class I am taking a variable integer a equal to 100. I am taking a constructor here. A constructor name should be same as the class name. So a constructor, inside this a constructor, I am defining the variable. Here the name of the variable is a itself, but the value is going to be a different value, 200. Okay, the moment if I do system.out.println, okay, the moment I do system.out.println, if I want to print the variable a itself, okay, what is the output now? If I try to access the variable a, what is output now? Tell me. Tell me, if I run this code, for example, object is created, a obj equal to new a obj equal to new a. So the moment the object is created, you need to understand that the instance variables will get recognized and executed. So we have only one instance variable, it will get recognized and executed. So in the memory level, there will be some changes which we don't, which we are not able to see. Those changes can't be seen through our eyes, but something is happening behind the scenes. In the memory level, 100 will be the value 100 will be assigned to a. Okay, after that the respective constructor will be called. Okay, what will be the output now the moment the constructor is called? Tell me, answer me, what is the output of this program? So let me remove extends keyword. Why extends keyword is there? Okay. Tell me guys, what is output? Yes, 200 is the output. Okay, let me run this. File, save as v.java. Okay, let me perform the compilation. Java C space -d space dot the current directory space v.java java space ganesh.b, because package name dot class 200 is output. Okay, now you see, let me take this program and put it in the paint brush. Okay, this is our program. Let me separate the main method, separate these classes for the better observation. Okay, so this is the main method. Okay, now if we focus one thing, here we have two, since we are talking about variables, here we have two variables. One is integer a itself equal to 200 and the second one is integer a equal to 100. Okay, if you want to categorize these variables, you can directly say that since this variable is part of a constructor, can we say that this is a local variable? Since it is a part of constructor, so since it is placed inside a constructor in a separate entity, don't you think that we can call it as local variable? Okay, so then since this is part of the class, why it is part of the class? It is placed inside the class, but it is not part of any entity like constructor or method or any block. Okay, that's why we call it as what? The instance variables. Instance variable, right? So when you try to access the variable from any entity like constructor, okay, for example, in our example we are trying to access the a. Firstly, local variable will be given as the priority. Okay, it will, the JVM thread will find if the variable a is defined in the constructor or not. It is already defined the constructor, no issues, 200 will be displayed in the console. But if I want to give priority to the class level variable, my requirement is I want to transfer the control. I want to execute the variable of the class level, not the local variable. I want to execute the class level variable. In order to do that, I need to use what? I need to use this keyword. What is the syntax for that? Okay, to refer current class variables, okay, you use syntax like this dot variable name. Okay, this variable has to be the class level variable, which is a syntax. Okay, this dot variable name, this variable has to be what? Class level variables. Having said this, okay, so here if I print a, no issues, the output is going to be 200. Okay, but the moment I say this dot variable, so the moment I say this dot a, okay, now we are giving the right exact instructions to the JVM main thread that please execute the variable a that is placed in the class level, not the local variable this time. If I run this code now, what is the output now? What is the output if I run this code? Tell me, everyone. What is output? 200, 100. No, the output should be, just have a look at this. Okay, so here we have two instructions, right? A constructor will be executed, so the control will be transferred to the A constructor. Okay. Okay. So the new keyword, okay, new keyword after the new, because of the new keyword, and we have a memory get allocated in the memory. So this is going to be what? Obj. This is going to be obj, and instance variable. Only just remember one thing. Only the values of the instance variable will be stored in the object. So a equal to 100. Okay, these things are happening in the memory. So instance variables are recognized and executed. So in the memory, this is happening. Next, a constructor will be called, right? A constructor will be called. Okay, inside the a constructor, there is a value integer a equal to 200. Now, what will happen? Inside the memory, there will be a method area. Sorry, there will be a stack area. So we have already discussed about this. Local variables will be stored in the stack area. Okay. Stack area. Inside the stack area, you have a variable integer a equal to 200. Okay, this is heap area. This stack area. This one is stack area. Memory level, heap area, stack area. Okay, 200. Okay, so this part is completed. Storage level. This has happened in the these are the things that has happened behind the scenes. After this, system.out.println a. So a means local variable will be accessed, right? So 200 will be displayed on the console. Nextly, we are accessing the variable a of class type. So this dot a. This dot a. So it is going to be what? 100. So 200 will be displayed on the console. Making sense, everyone? Right? Who has answered 200? Yeah, good. So this is the differentiation. Okay, the moment you use this keyword for a particular variable, it means the reference will be changed from the local level to the class level. That's it. Okay, now let us understand in a different way. See, for now this time, so the differentiation is very clear. There are two variables. One is instance variables. Let me write it here. Instance. Okay, and this is what? The local variable. Okay, then now the differentiation is very clear. You see what I am doing here? I am accessing the variable a. Okay, first the control will find if the variable a is defined in the local level or not. In the local level, the variable a is not defined because there is a variable called b this time. Okay, then the control will be transferred to the class level. It has identified a variable the variable name named with a. Then 100 will be displayed on the console. Okay, even if you do this, 100 will be in the console, and even if you use this dot a, okay, now what happens? Directly it will jump to the class level. Previously, since we are not using this keyword, it will first check in the local level, then the control will be transferred to the class level. Okay, 100 will be in the console. But the moment you use this keyword directly, this dot a, it will not check in the local level. Directly the control will be transferred to the class level, but the answer is going to be 100 itself. Making sense? This time it is going to give 100. Are we clear? Yes, no? Okay, very simple. Okay, this is the question. Okay, so here the differentiation is very clear. Now this time we have two variables. Now we is the variable a, this is called as instance variable, and we have b equal to 200. This is a local variable, but they are assigned, these values are assigned to different names this time. This is a, this is b. Okay, the moment I call a, if I call a directly, okay, the control will check, okay, the JVM will check if there is any variable declared in the class a. First the checking will be happen locally. Then the control will, if the a variable is not found in the local level, then the control will be transferred to the class level. then the value 100 will be displayed in the console. Okay, case 1. Second line, I mean the third instruction says this dot a. So the moment it says this dot a, it will not even worry about checking the variable in the local level. Directly it will check in the class level. Anyhow, the answer is going to be 100. I'm talking about the way it is approaching to access the variables. Making sense? Both are going to give the same output. But the way the JVM is trying to look for the variables is going to be different. Right? So the conclusion is very simple here. Okay. So this keyword in context with the variables are used to get access to the variables that are declared in the class level. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, that's it about the to refer the current class variables, you use this keyword. Okay, now let us look into the second thing. To refer to the current class methods, we also use this keyword to refer to the current class methods. Okay, now you see, let me make a small changes for this particular program. Okay, this time let me take a constructor. Let me remove this. So now we are specifically talking about what? Talking about the methods to refer current class methods. Okay, the syntax is going to be like this. So this dot method name. Okay, this method name, you can have any method, but it can be parameterized or it can be a non-parameterized method. So this is an optional thing. That's why I have declared these things in the square brackets. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, so see, I have two Java method, guys. One is void m1. Okay, void m1. So this void m1 as a simple logic. What is that logic? A simple system.out.println statement. It is when you invoke this method or when you call m1 method, it is going to display m1 in the console. Okay, I have another method here. Okay, void m2. Okay, when you invoke this method, it is going to display m2 in the console. Okay, m1 and m2 in the console. Okay, so now you tell me, I will be asking you questions. Now you tell me the answer. Okay, we will make this session interactive. How many methods are there in class B? Type it in the chat box. How many methods are there in class B? Class B. So since we have two classes here, okay, so just have a look at this once again. So we have two classes here. So class B we have, class A we have. How many methods are there in class B? How many methods are there in class A? Oh, no. In class B, how many methods are there? Only one method, no? My question is, how many methods are there in class B? Only one method, right? Yeah, one method. How many methods are there in class A? Now answer for class A. Two methods. Very simple question. So I just want you to type. That's why I'm asking you, okay? Yes, good. Okay. Now the question is, I have two methods in class A. You agree with me? Two methods are there in class A. Okay. In order to call this method, before even calling the methods, now just tell me by looking at this method. Okay, so let me take these two methods. Let us understand the definition of this method firstly. Okay, this method one is there. I can call this method as instance method. Why instance method? When you find any method without static keyword, they are called as what? Instance methods. Okay, the moment you use static keyword, now this is not an instant method, this is a static method. Okay, the moment you find a method without static keyword, they are called as what? Instance method. First definition, right? So the moment you find a method with a static keyword, they are called as what? This is called as what? Static method. Okay, now can I say that these two methods that are placed in class A are instance method? Yes or no? These are the instance method. Okay, now I want to call the method m1. Okay, now see, if I want to call method m1, I cannot call directly. Object creation is mandatory. We know why the object creation is mandatory. After creating the object, on top of object reference obj dot m1. Okay, if I do this now, what is the message that what is the output, or what is the output that I can see in the console? obj.m1. I call obj.m1. Okay, obj is of class A type. Okay, the control will be transferred to the class A. Okay, inside the class A, it will identify the method m1. M1 method will be identified. The instructions in the m1 method will get executed. Only one instruction is there, so this is going to get executed. Do you agree with me or not? M1 will be displayed in the console. Everyone should answer, guys. Why Chaitanya and everyone should answer? Okay, only Chaitanya is answering. Everyone should answer. Okay, so this is one way. Okay, now if I do obj.m2, okay, now the answer is going to be m1 and m2. But if you observe one thing, I am giving two method calls. This is method call 1. Okay, this is method call 2. Let me run this firstly. Let me perform the compilation. Let me perform the execution. I get m1 and m2 because two method calls. One is m1, second one is m2. But my requirement is I have a task. Okay, I have a task, and the task says I should use only one method call. Okay, one shot, two birds, like that. I should use only one method call, but two methods should get executed. One shot, two birds. Okay, now if you have such kind of requirement, okay, you can utilize what? You can utilize this keyword. How is it really possible? Okay, so I want to call only one method call. Either I can call m1 or either I can call m2. But the moment I call m1, m1 should also get executed, as well as m2 should also get executed. What is the way? Very simple. The first way is, okay, just use this dot m2. Inside m1, use this dot m2. The moment you do this, okay, what is the method that is getting invoked here? We are directly calling m1 method. The control will be transferred to the m1 method call. The control will be transferred to the method m1. All the instructions inside the m1 method has to get executed. Okay, but the JVM thread, the main thread, is encountering a keyword called this keyword. This keyword is specifying that please call m2 also. Okay, now from here the control will travel to m2 method. These instructions will get executed, then it will come back here, then this instruction will get executed. So don't you think that I am calling only one method? On top of one method call, two methods are getting executed. Okay, let me run this. M2 M1. Why M2 M1? Why M2 M1? Because inside the M1 the first call is M2. So the control, it is control JVM responsibility to complete calling the method M2. Then it will come back to the method M1. Then the remaining instructions will get executed, which is M1 itself, right? If I just interchange this, now you tell me the output. I have just changed the order. Now you tell me the output. Okay. Error. What about others? Are you able to see this? Come on, everyone, answer. Answer me. Error. Why error? People who have answered error, can you elaborate why we get error? Tell me. What about others? There are about 10 people in this class. Only 3 are responding. What about others? Samikta, Teja, Ganesh, Jyoti S, Jyoti N, Parimi. Before the statement we can use, okay, this is not a constructor call, this is the method call. Okay, that constructor call is different. Your answer, good Chaitanya, you are correct. Okay, your thinking is very correct, I appreciate that, but this explanation is meant for constructor calls. Okay, this is not applicable for method calls. See guys, what is the where there is any difficulty here? Object is created. Okay, on top of this object obj dot method 1 is called. Okay, the control will directly jump to method 1. From here method 1, what is the first instruction in the method 1? M1 will be displayed in the console. Any doubts here? M1 will be displayed in the console. After this, what is happening? The second call, this dot M2 will be called. Okay, the control will be transferred to M2. In the M2, what is the instruction we have? M2. M2 will be displayed in the console. Right? By using only one object reference, two methods are being called. What is the confusion? Don't you think M1 and M2 will be displayed in the console? Where is the proof? If you ask me, let me run this. M1, M2. Any difficulty here? Everyone who has a either you can either see, if you, it's okay if you're not answering. If you are not able to get it, just try to tell me that, okay, so that I can explain you in a different way. You cannot stay ideal just like that. You cannot remain blank for a long time, because we need to work together to understand this. Okay, I understand that it is not going to be easy, but you should ask me if you're not getting this. Okay, so that I can explain you in a different way. Right? So look at this, they are answering error, something they are answering, others has to answer, others has to respond. Okay, then only we can solve the problems together, or else it will be very difficult for us. Either I should be understanding that whether if you have understood it or not. Okay, so now the next question, I am taking, see, this dot M2. So now I am calling M2 for 2 times. This dot M2, this dot M2. Okay, what is the output? Think and tell me. What is output now? If you want me to copy this code and give it to you, I can do that also. Take your time and tell me. Okay, if you don't have pen and paper next to you, you just try to do the imagination, it would be very difficult. Start the execution from the main method, definitely you're going to get this. It is not a rocket science thing. Okay, everyone should answer this. After completing this, we will understand about the constructor call and the object reference call. Okay, let me place this example in the answer. Krishna Prasad says errors. What about others? Use pen, paper. Okay, I am okay that if I don't use brain also, no issues. Good, Jyotian. Use pen and paper. Don't forget to use pen and paper. Good. You're answering now. Okay, let me run this. Okay. M1, M2. What difficulty is there? At least you're answering. Good. Appreciated. M1 and M2. So the idea is very simple. Within, see, there are 3 methods here. Okay, I mean there are 2 methods here, but I am able to change this method call by just using what this keyword, right? With the help of this keyword, I'm doing only one method call, but with this one method call, and also by using this keyword inside a method, I'm able to call all the methods, right? I'm doing the method chaining here. Okay, so if I ever had to do this without using this keyword, what is the problem here? There is no problem, but I need to do what? You want to get the same answer, obj dot m2 and obj dot m2. Okay, here the number of calls are getting increased. Okay, even I will get the same answer, no doubt about it. Don't you think I am going to get the same answer? But the idea of using this keyword, okay, see the importance of this keyword. Instead of doing this, just remove this and just do a this here, this dot m2 and this dot m2. You will get this. Making sense, everyone? Good, Chaitanya. Everyone, are you getting this? Yes, no? Okay, now you see it is not mandatory to use this keyword. Even if I don't use this keyword also, if I do the method call directly without using this keyword, I will be getting the same output, guys. There is no doubt about it. I'm going to get what? I'm going to get the same output. If I do M2 also, like now if I run this code, now you see the output, there will be no changes in the output. M1, M2, M2. Okay, so it is not like, you know, using this keyword is going to be very specific. If you don't use this keyword, it is going to be less specific. It is not like that. Okay, when you use this keyword, it is going to be very much clear. That's it. It is going to give you much clarity that okay, this M2 is being called upon this, which means the control will directly check in the current class for the method M2. In future, what will happen now when we are learning inheritance concept? Okay, there will be M2 method in the super class. For example, class A will be extending to some other class. Okay, in that class there will be an M2 method. Okay, there you will get the much specificity about this keyword. Okay, for now, just try to understand that you can call another method by using this keyword or by using the method name directly. Okay, so the conclusion is this keyword with respect to Java methods is used to do a method call from one method to call of another method from the current method itself. So this is the syntax, typical syntax. Okay, now the interview question can be, okay, they will ask you a question like this. Okay, now you focus here, you need to answer this question. Think that you are answering to an interviewer and try to answer this. Okay, so I have said it very clearly to you. Okay, so this is a okay, now you tell me the answer for this dot a. Okay, so the moment the M1 method is called, okay, the moment you call the M1 method, okay, what is output now? Tell me. To tell me the answer, meanwhile I will design another program. Okay, the moment I call M1 method, what is the answer? Everyone answer. 100 is going to be displayed on the console. Good. Okay, now you see, so this is what variable? This is instance variables, guys. Instance variable. Okay, now I have defined another variable here. I have defined what? A static variable. Okay, we were discussing problems on top of instance variable. Okay, this keyword is applicable for instance variable. Okay, can I do the method call? Can I do the variable call of static variable? If I do this dot b, is it okay or not? This could be your interview question. What do you think? If you don't know, you can answer don't know. If you can guess, you can guess the answer. Whatever it is, just try to give a response. Okay, so this B is a static variable, not an instance variable. Okay, I have been telling you that you can use this keyword to refer to the instance variables. No issues. This is going to give 100. No doubts about it. Okay, the moment you give this dot B is a variable of what type? Of static type. Okay, do you think that output is going to be 200 or do we get any compilation error? What are your thoughts? 100, 200. Good. So at least you're guessing. Good, good, good. 100, 200. So the conclusion here is you can use this to refer instance variables as well as static variables. Can I conclude this? Because we are getting the answer. No issues, no? Yes or no? The conclusion is, okay, let me place it here. Please be informed that you can use this keyword to refer to static variables as well as instance variables. It is not limited to static variables. You can also refer to what instance variables. Okay, now the twist is, okay, now what kind of method is this? When I ask you about a method, when I ask you to define a method, you should be saying whether it is a static or non-static. Okay, and I am expecting these answers from you. Now you tell me what kind of method is this? Static or non-static? Static or non-static? What kind of method is this? Void M1 is there. Is it a static method or a non-static method? No. Method one. Why it's static? Non-static. No, I am not using any static keyword. No. Method. So, do you think this is static? No static keyword is visibly seen here. It is a non-static method, right? Why static? Non-static method. Non-static. Yes, it's non-static method. Okay. Now I'm changing the method to what? Now I am changing this method to static method. How it is possible? By just using static keyword. Now this method becomes static method. Yes or no? Right? Now this method becomes what? Static methods. Okay. So the moment I do A, B. Okay. Now you see, before even giving me the output, I am doing a method called obj.m1. Okay, this method will be called. No doubts about it. This method is going to get called. Inside this method, variable A is called. Variable A is what of? Instance variables. And another method is B is also getting called. B is what type? B is a static variable. Okay, instance variable, and B is what? Static variable. What is output now? Just guess the output. If you feel like, okay sir, there is a little confusion on this. Okay, I don't know the answer. Anything you should respond, everyone. If you know the output, guess it. You don't know, at least say that you don't know. But don't remain ideal. Okay. Got my question, I think. What could be the output here? And can you guess the answers? 200, 100. What about others? 100, 200. Why order is changed, Jyotian? Okay, 100, 200. Okay, Jyotian is okay because order is correct. What about others? 100, 200, Shashwant, Samyukta, everyone. You don't know, you can say don't know. Teja, Darshini, 100. Okay, let me run this, guys. Java C space d.java C. Now this is the thing I need to. What it says, non-static variable A cannot be referenced from a static context. What does it mean? This is the interview question. Okay. The error says, let me elaborate this error. This is the error. He got this error on top of this method. Okay. So here we have a method called static method. Okay. This red part is representing what? Static method. Whenever you are using a static method, inside the static method, if you add to call any variables, the variable must be static. Okay, getting this? The variable must be static. Okay, so especially this method, this call we are calling static variable. No issues, we are not getting error for this. But if you look at this method, if you look at this variable call, we are calling a is of what type? It's of non-static type. You cannot call a non-static variable directly inside a static method. Making sense? This is one typical conclusion. Everyone getting this? Please remember this point. Only this point is enough to be remembered. We will discuss a lot about the static. Okay, we have to see if the method is non-static. Okay, here we don't have any issues. In the non-static method is so powerful that it will allow you to call the static variable as well as static variable as well as non-static variable. But static method is very a deserved method. It means it will allow only static variables. It will not allow non-static variables. Okay, if we need to execute this, we should ensure that the variable is also static. Now, don't you think that we will get output as 100, 200 because both the variables are marked as static? Yes or no? Now, no issues because both the variables are static variables. Are you getting this? Run this, don't you think that output is going to be, as per my explanation, I just said that non-static variables are not allowed, but this time both the variables are static variables. If that is the case, if I run this code, don't you think that output is 100, 200? Why 100, 200? Both variables that we are referring is of what? Static type. A is of static, right? B is also static. At the same time, you cannot use this keyword. You cannot use what? This keyword in the static method. Why we will use this keyword? Tell me guys. See, if I run this, it says, see, it clearly says non-static variable. This cannot be referenced from a static because it says this cannot be used in the static used for the static variable references. When you use this, it is reserved for the instance variables, not for the static variables. Another conclusion. Another conclusion is what? What is another conclusion? Please be informed that you can use this keyword you can't use this keyword in the static method to refer any variables. It can be static or not static. Can I conclude this? Okay, even though the variables are static, but we are calling this variable on top of this keyword. This keyword is not allowed. Not at all allowed. Okay, this is another conclusion. Okay. Now, this is non-static variable. Now, no issues. No. Non-static variables, non-static method, no issues. You can use this keyword or you can call directly. But on top of static methods, you cannot use this keyword at all. At the same time, you cannot call a variable of instance type. Can we proceed? Are we good so far? Yes, no? Okay, just repeat this video, will get this. Very simple. Only you need to understand 2 or 3 points. That's it. That difference is okay. Everything will remain same. Okay, now the next question is to refer current class construct. This is very easy. I think you will answer this. Constructor chaining, we have already discussed this. To refer current class. Okay, in this to refer current class constructor, there is a rule. What is a rule that you should follow? you should use this constructor call should always be placed in the first line of the constructor. This is the rule. Just follow this rule, everything is going to remain same. Or where is the example, sir? If you ask me, I have a class A. Okay, let me remove this. Let me also remove this. Okay, in the class A, I have a constructor, A constructor. Okay, A constructor is going to display a message in the console. What message it is going to display? Any message we can take. Let us display it as 1. Okay, for the better understanding. Okay, so that you can answer quickly. That's right. And I have the A constructor that is accepting an argument. Okay, this is going to be 2. Okay, and I have, let me take another constructor. Okay, now this constructor is accepting float argument. Okay, very simple. I have two classes. Within the class A, there are 3 constructors, and within the class B, there is a main method. I think you are able to see this. Okay, I am creating an object of class A. So A obj equal to new A. Okay, the moment I create object for A, what is output now? What will be displayed in the console? You know this already. We have seen about the concept of constructors. We have been seeing this concept for a long time. Answer me. A constructor is getting called. What is output in the console? 1 is output. Very good, very good, very good. 1 is output. Okay. 1 is output. Okay. So if I want to do this, now see, I am creating 3 objects. So second object, I am passing 1. In the third object, I am passing 10.20f. Now what is output? Okay, identify. First one is a empty constructor. Okay, no argument constructor. So this will be executed. Second call, integer. We are passing a value which is of integer type. Okay, it will find the integer argument constructor. This will get executed. Okay, let me keep it as 3. Okay, third one, we are passing a floating point value. Okay, this will get executed. So output is going to be 1, 2, 3. Yes or no? Okay, good. You are correct. Everyone correct. My mistake. You are correct. According to you, it's 1, 2, 2 because I marked it as 1, 2, 2. You are correct. Good. Okay. Now I am creating objects for 3 times. Let me do the constructor chaining. This time, what I am trying to do, I will do only any one of the constructor I will call. For example, let me call the empty constructor, no argument constructor. Okay. So my intention is I need to call only one constructor, but this constructor has to execute all the constructors that is in the class A. What I'm going to do here, I will use this. Okay, I cannot simply use this. Okay, this on top of this constructor call another constructor that is accepting integer as an argument. Okay, the control will be transferred to the integer or again on top of this constructor call the other constructor that is accepting float as an argument. So I will pass any value that is supporting the floating point data type. When I do this on top of one constructor call, don't you think thus all the constructors are chained together to invoke all the constructors? Now what is output? Tell me. Think and tell me. Don't just give me the answers. Think and tell me. If you get logged out of the meeting, 3 to 1. Good guys. Good. 3 to 1. Yes, 3 to 1. Why 3 to 1? People who haven't answered it. You get logged out of the meeting, please rejoin. The class will be for 10 more minutes. That's it. Okay. So this is, let me save this. Okay. Don't worry. This is my error. I have missed something. Okay. Yeah. Now it will run. So 3 to 1. Okay, why 3 to 1? People who haven't answered. Anyone want me to explain this? If so, just post in the chat box. Okay, good. Anyone want me to explain this, or can we proceed? Anyone? Everyone answered? Shashwant is asking to explain. Okay, Shashwant, I will explain this. Everyone listen to this, okay? Constructor chaining, this concept is called as what? The constructor chaining. Okay, let me file new. Okay, now everyone will work together. Okay, so we have a class A, guys. Okay, there is a class A, and let me take the main class B. Okay, so the job of the compiler will come into the picture. Okay, compiler will check each and every constructor, right? This one constructor is there. This constructor is designed in a perfect manner because the first line of the constructor we have used this keyword. Okay, again the second constructor, this is also perfectly designed because first line is this keyword. Third constructor, this is little imperfect. Why imperfect? Because first line of the constructor should be either this keyword or the super keyword. Okay, so developer has missed this one of these keywords. So compiler will place what? It will place super keyword. We know this already, don't you think so? Super will be placed by the compiler. So everything looks good. At the same time, this class will be considered as the default class. This will be taken care by the compiler. Okay, and this class A will be extending object. When you don't extend any class, every class will get extended to the object class, and this also will get extended to the object class. Okay. And after this, inside the class B, constructor is missing. Okay, my screen is visible. Quickly confirm, guys. Voice and screen good. Okay. Okay. See, in the class B, the constructor is missing, so the compiler will place a default constructor, and also it will ensure the super keyword is placed. We know these things. These are the basic things that we have discussed in the concept of Java constructors. Okay, if you forgotten, you can repeat that video once again. Constructor. Okay, we are doing a constructor call. A constructor is called. Empty constructor is called. Okay, don't you think that the control will be jumped to the empty constructor? From here, the control has been transferred to the empty constructor. Okay, the first instruction inside this empty constructor will get executed. This keyword. Okay, this keyword replace this keyword with the current class name followed by what? Followed by the number 1. Okay, now another constructor will be called, that is accepting integer as an argument. The matching constructor has been formed. Okay, the control will be transferred from here to here, right? So here the first instruction is this call, right? This call means replace this with the current class name. Current class is what? A, comma, point 2 here, right? And again, so it has identified another constructor. The control will do what? The control will be transferred from here to the respective matching constructor. Okay. Here the first instruction which is placed by the compiler is super. Okay, the control will jump to the object class. So in the object class nothing will be there. So what happens? It will come back to the same place. Okay, the next instruction is what? 3 will be displayed in the console. 3 has to get executed. After this, from here it will go reverse direction. Okay, from here, okay, the control has come from here to here, so it has to execute this instruction going backwards. 2 will be displayed in the console. Okay, from here the remaining instruction is what? 1. Okay? 1 will be displayed in the console. 3 to 1. Right, so don't you think that only one constructor is called and all the constructors are getting executed? Why all the constructors are getting executed? Because we are using what? We are using this constructor call. This concept is called as what? The constructor chaining. Okay, all the values are getting executed one by one because of the concept of constructor chaining. Making sense, Ashwan? Shashwant, Hari Shashwant. Shashwant, are you getting this? Okay, Shashwant, thank you. The next one is the last concept is the constructor chaining. We are talking about this keyword, not about super keyword. That's why I'm stressing much on this keyword. Use this constructor call to do the constructor chaining. Okay. Last one is, what is the last one? To refer current class objects. To refer current class objects. What does it mean? Let me give you the small program. So I have a program class A I have. Let me remove all this. We don't require constructors anymore. Okay. System dot out dot println. Okay. OBJ. What is the output, guys, if I execute this program? What is the output? What you will see in the console? What is the output? I am trying to print the reference variable. What will be displayed in the console? Internally, what things will happen? Good, Chaitanya. No, how can be blank? ToString method will be called. ToString method will be called internally. Do you agree with me? We have already discussed reference value. We have already discussed about the ToString method in Java. Okay, one big class we have done. Okay, so if I run this, ToString method will be called. Ganesh.a, because package name dot class name. Previously I did not use packages, that's why you don't get the package name. Now this time I'm using specifically package dot class name followed by the hexadecimal value of the hash code. Okay, so we are getting the object reference. Okay, now you see, now the interesting thing will happen. Okay, so before even understanding this, I need to brush up some few things for you. Okay, so when I create a method public integer method 1. Okay, so the return type is integer. When the return type is integer, what I should be returning? So I should return something. Okay. Should I just answer me which is the ideal way of returning the value? Okay, which is the appropriate value that can be returned? 100, 1.23.f or ABC. Among these three values, which value can I place here? Answer me. 100 can be placed here because when the return type is a integer type, I can return any value, but it should be what? Integer type. So 100 will fit. Okay, the moment I use float, which is the appropriate value that I can return among these three? 10.23, right? 10.23 of 10.2, because the return keyword is meant to return a value that should be matching of the return type, that should be matching the return type. The moment I use string, okay, what I can use ABC, right? ABC. So these concepts are related to the Java methods. Okay, the moment I use the class name, return type as the class. Now, what is the name of the class? Class name is A. The moment I use class name, I should be returning the object of the class. For example, the return type is class itself. I should return something of class type. So in this case, I can return like AOBJ equal to object is created. I should return this. This is the appropriate value. You agree with me? For the primitive data types, no issues. We know the values directly. But for the object types, okay, I need to return a value of object type. What is a reference value that I can place here? Reference variable that I can place here? OBJ. Or else I can directly place a value like new A. You agree with me? Everyone? When I use class type, it should be the return type should be class type. So this is the class type. I should return an object of this class. I can either directly create an object and return the reference variable like obj, right? Or else without doing this, I can do new A. Both are valid. Okay, let us understand this programmatically. So I am creating a method. Method name is method1 itself. Okay, this is not a okay, method1. So this method return type is class type A. It is a class type A. I should create an object for A object equal to new A. Okay, and return is mandatory because the return type is of what? Is of class type itself. OBJ is the object. Okay, after C, let me create one more line here. Okay, now I am doing what? By using this reference variable obj dot method 1. Don't you think that output is going to be a reference? No, sorry, not like this. Obj dot method 1. Okay, I am calling method 1 on top of obj. Obj on top of obj, I am calling method 1. Okay, this method 1 is returning the object. Again, the object is what? The reference value. Don't you think that I will get reference values for 2 times? Yes or no? Just answer this to me. Do you think that output is going to be something like reference values will be displayed in the console for 2 times along with this, along with a line? Don't you think so? Reference value 2 times. Do you agree with Chaitanya, everyone? Right? Run this. Java C space. See, one reference value, second reference value. Now you see, I'm trying to call the method over and over again, third time, fourth time. Okay, first is the ordinary call. Second one is I'm trying to print the reference value by calling method 1 over and over again for 3 times. Okay, don't you think that the moment I call method 1, an object is created? Okay, so the new keyword is getting invoked for 3 consecutive times. This is for 1 time. First time method call, second time method call, third time method call, 1, 2, 3. So this new keyword is getting encoded for 3 times. So 3 times new keyword is being used here. Don't you think so? 4 times usually. Even if you consider this, okay, we are using new keyword for 4 times. Okay, don't you think that 4 new objects will be created in the memory? New keyword is being encountered by the JVM for 4 times. Sir, why 4 times? We are using new keyword only for 2 times. This is 1 time and this is second time. Yes, visibility is 2 times, but during the method calls, okay, this is first time, again new keyword is getting encoded. Second method call, again new keyword is getting encoded. The JVM is identifying the new keyword over and over again because of these 3 method calls. It means JVM is encoding new keywords for 4 times. If it is encoding new keyword for the 4 times, there will be 4 objects will be created in the memory. run this code, all the objects will be having the different reference values. See, this is reference, this reference value is different, this reference value is different, this reference value is also different, this is also different. Okay, memory is getting wasted. Memory is getting wasted. We are not achieving the concept of reusability. We'll understand this better in some time. Okay, now for time being, just imagine how many times a new keyword is getting called. 4 times. Okay, let me trace this. Okay, this is the code, this is our code. Okay, so now you see, this is the first time new keyword is getting encoded. First time one object will be created. Do you agree with me? One object is created. Okay, after this, so we are printing obj. Obj means this is obj. Obj. Okay, second time, okay, obj dot method 1. Again we are calling method 1. So this is method 1. This method 1. Inside this method 1, again the first instruction is object creation. What is your object creation? New keyword. The thread is encountering the new keyword. Create another object. Okay, and this reference variable is what? This is a local reference variable object itself. Done. Okay, third time obj method 1. Again this will be created, right? Again this will be created, right? Again fourth time we are calling. Again this will be created, right? So how many objects are created? 4 objects. For each and every object we have reference values, right? This is one reference value for first object, second object. All are different. But I do not want this. I want, so even though you can call method any number of times, but I want the memory to be shared. I want memory to be shared, right? If that is the case, I will use what? I will use this keyword directly. When I use this keyword, it means return the object, return the same object. Let me run this code, you will get this. See, don't you think that all the object references are same? Look, do the comparison. Previously, new keyword was being encoded for 4 times. It means 4 objects are created, 4 memory spaces are wasted. Now we look at this. Only new keyword is used only for 1 time, and we are using this keyword. We are returning this keyword. It means current class object. What is a current class? Current class is A. It will check if there is any object created for the class A. Yes, there is an object created for the class A. This is the object. Return the same obj for all the object calls. For all the object calls. Making sense? Everyone? Yes, no? Okay, let me, sir, if that is the case, if I create another object like this, a obj2 equal to new a obj2 equal to new a. So now you see what is happening. Let me remove this. First 2 objects, obj.method 1, obj.method 1. Second 2 are calling obj.method 2, obj.method, obj2, obj2. First one is obj1, obj1. Okay, now see the output. Okay, so there will be 2 reference variables will be created in the console. Right, now you see the output. 2 outputs will be, okay, something is missing. Where is the error? Okay. See, these 2 are same and these 2 are same. Why these 2 are same? Okay, obj1, this is going to generate a reference variable. Let us say it is generating abc. For the example, I am saying abc. Okay, obj dot method 1 is going to give abc only, because obj is what? abc, value is abc, and again we are calling the method 1 on top of obj. Is also going to give abc. Method memory will be shared. Okay, so this is obj2. obj2 means new object. Let us say that, assume that it is giving xyz. Okay, we are calling method 1 on top of obj2. We are using this keyword, means this is also going to return xyz, this is also going to return xyz. Making sense? It will be, there will be a confusion on this. Just try to write this code and run it by yourself. Okay, in future there is a topic called the static context. Not in the future, tomorrow only we are going to start the topic of static context. Okay, you will get all this. This is just think that it's just a kind of introduction. Practice this. This is an example. Are we good, everyone? Any confusion? Right? Just do a